Hi, hello, hey. So I'm doing kind of a random video. So I'm gonna try to explain it. This intro might be a couple minutes long because I'm trying to explain what's happening, okay? So, for one, I'm going to be trying out some new art supplies. So, let me show you. I have watercolors. And I also have some metallic watercolors that I want to try. I'm not going to be able to use every single color in all of these, but you know, I'm pretty sure I got these for Easter and I haven't used them yet, so and then oh yeah, I also have a new paint palette, so that's kind of fun. I don't know why I had to wait for a perfect time to use a paint palette, okay? And then the last thing is paper. Yeah, I have like one good pad of like big watercolor paper, but it's hot press, so I wanted a cold press one too that I could use. So yeah, I've never tried that brand before, so hopefully it's good. Okay, so now we've got that. I have the complicated part. So me and my friend, we kind of like made up this new challenge, like art challenge. We do that a lot, but I'm gonna like actually film this one, so it's a little confusing. So each of us, we picked out an animal, like a common animal, and I'm not gonna say what they are yet. I don't know what she picked. She doesn't know what I picked, so I will probably, if we both finish our pictures, mine will be finished, but if hers is finished, I'll say what both of the animals are at the end of the video so you can see. So we both picked an animal and we didn't tell each other, and then we wrote characteristics about the animal, like what kind of food they eat and like what you would describe their personalities, I guess. I hear something. Anyway, so yeah, so I have a list. This is what she gave me, and I don't know what her animal is, so yeah. So I'm going to design a character based off of this list. Okay, so let me talk about this paper real quick. So I thought it was a pad of paper, but I opened it and it was a watercolor block. Nowhere on the packaging did it say that, but I was like, ooh, and I was like, what? And there's instructions. Yeah, it doesn't say watercolor block anywhere. I was looking for it because I was really confused. Like, did I mess that up? No, it didn't say that. So yeah, I mean, it's nice that it has instructions, but I wanted a pad of paper, and a watercolor block is where it's glued on all four sides, except for this one spot, so you can take off the thing when you're done with your painting. But yeah, I didn't say that anywhere, so I decided to use it like a pad of paper anyway, because that was my plan. So I taped it down to this board, which is just the back of one of my old sketchbooks. And look how cute this washi tape is. It's like a little moon, but it's like a cat, you know, so it like changes. But the tape isn't actually very good. I've been having really bad luck with washi tape, so I had to double tape it down, which took a while. But yeah, and it's still not very secure on there, but it's fine. Maybe I just need some painter's tape or something. I don't know. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna read the list now. So, this is the confusing list I got, okay? We got skittery. How am I supposed to make a character off of that? I don't know. We got nibbly. Okay, why? We got small. Okay, that's something. We got chunky. Okay. Sounds like a bird. Oh, okay. And then we got does not get jealous. That's a nice fact. And then the only thing that I can really go off of here is it eats berries and bugs. Yeah, so there's my character design. I did like 2 pages of character design. It took me a while to come up with something, because the only thing I could go off of is bugs and berries, so that was pretty much the only thing I had going for it. I mean, I guess my list was also pretty confusing, so you'll see that later, probably. But yeah, so here's me sketching it. This sketch, I can't even. And that skirt, I can't even with the skirt either. But yeah, I think I'll talk about the design a little bit while I'm painting it, because I think the painting part will be pretty long. But yeah, also I used a darker mechanical pencil to kind of get the details in some places. Also, the paper is pretty nice. I don't know why I didn't say it was a watercolor block, but you know, that's fine. But yeah, so my idea is that she has a bunch of little ladybugs flying around her. That's kind of what I did. It's so cute. Like, she has one on her little face, and then she's like, has one next to her little hand. I love it. But yeah, also, she's gonna have a giant skirt, so drawing the legs really didn't matter, but I had to draw some of them, so yeah.
Scratchy, scratchy, scratch. Why is it so loud?
And now we did a little jump skip. I did the hair, and I don't know if you've ever seen this, but there was this like kind of virally hairstyle like years and years ago. I think it was for like Coachella or something, but this lady put like different colored hair like braided in with her hair, and they were kind of like bubble braids, if that's even a thing. And then there was like different other colored braids, and it was really cute. So that's what the hairstyle is inspired by. It doesn't look like that, so even if you know what I'm talking about, you're not going to get it. So, yeah. And her little skirt is, I don't know what it's actually supposed to be. It was going to just be a circle, and there's like, maybe it's a flower. I don't know. But there's the finished sketch, and she has kind of little ballerina shoes, which is really cute. And she has a bunch of circles, because they're supposed to look like berries. But yeah. And now we will get to the swatching. So here's a list. That's the brand name. And the set is called, I don't remember what it's called. I just showed it on the paper, so you can read it. I already forgot. But yeah, so I used that weird thing that came with the watercolor block, the instructions. And I'm just using that to glue the little packaging on, because I like to keep those because it has a lot of information on the watercolors on them. So I'm gluing them on with this new glue stick. Another new art supply. I love that glue stick. And I also wrote the color name on the pans just in case. I think I smeared it off on some of them, so, you know, oops, but yeah. And this took forever, by the way, gluing those on and like writing down. I think I spent like 30 minutes just doing that. I was like ready to paint. I had the paint palette there. I was like, yeah, let's paint. I mean, I did end up painting that day, but like still ridiculous. And then I also decided I wanted to keep the list just in case. So I'm cutting that out. Oh yeah, also on the list and on the packaging, the colors are listed differently. So I didn't know what to write on the pans. Like, should I write what the packaging says or what the list says? Some of them were just like one word was different. Sometimes the words were switched. And some of them was a whole different color name. So that was a little confusing for me to try to figure out. But I got it. And I wrote what the list says. I trust you, list. But yeah, and then I'm just going to put it in the back pocket of my sketchbook, you know. That's where I keep those. Secret. And then I decided to make a swatch card because I didn't like the one that it came with because it was confusing. So I explain that later. So yeah, I definitely always recommend making a swatch card. They're very important. I'm using a little ruler, and this one was actually pretty easy to make. There wasn't that many colors. So yeah, so I just did like a light wash of the color, and then I added like a darker side with like full pigment so you could see how dark and light the colors could go. So yeah, that was my plan. Also, I'm really excited to use these because there's no black and no white and no browns, so I'm gonna need to mix everything. Yeah. And that little thing next to my pen, that is for paintbrushes, so you can like put a paintbrush there, which is kind of nice, I guess. I don't know, I don't have any of those, but it came with the paints, so like, oh, that's nice, they gave me a little thing. But yeah, look at the colors. I also reorganized them to put them in the order I wanted them, so yeah, I feel like I was talking really fast there. I'm tired. Also, I'm going between voiceover and not voiceover, so I hope you like it. That's kind of new for me. It's confusing to edit though, but it's cool. Okay, I just finished writing on all of these and doing the swatches. And surprisingly, it's still day one, so I feel like I'm getting stuff done here. It's not normally what happens. But okay, so this is kind of weird. So I had that little list and the wrapping on the paints that you just saw, but on the list and the color named on the wrappings were different on the wrappers. So I wrote down what the list said the colors were, but it was kind of hard to figure out what color was what sometimes, because some of them were just, the words were switched. Some of them was one word was different, and some of them was just a completely different color name. So that was a little confusing. But yeah, now we're here. Also, the wrappings had swatches of the color. This color was, I think, a light blue, like a super pastel blue. That couldn't be more wrong. I mean, I guess it's still blue, that's something. But yeah, not that I trust those to be completely accurate, but like I'm confused how that even happened. But yeah, so here are the colors. They're super pretty, and I mean, I already have these two pinks in here. So I mean, I guess that kind of stinks, but they're pretty, so also it doesn't. But oh my gosh, this orange, I love it. I love it. It's called Flat Peach. I don't know why it's flat, but I like it. It's very peachy. And this color is pretty. And I also really like the greens. This color is kind of interesting because I couldn't get it to go super dark. Like, I was scrubbing it and that was the darkest I could get. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, they're really pretty. I think I want to use a lot of greens in my piece. I didn't plan on using an orange, so I don't think I'm going to use the orange, but it's so pretty. But yeah, I think... Oh, another interesting thing is there's no black, no white, and no browns. So what... I mean, I can't mix a white, but I can probably mix, you know, all other colors. I mean, I know I can mix browns. Browns are really easy to mix. But mixing a black is always fun. But yeah. White watercolor isn't essential, but, you know, it is kind of nice. That's okay. I will still have white highlights with wash, so yay. But yeah, also, actually, you'll just see. I don't need to explain that to you. Yeah, so those are my reactions about the colors. Oh, and this thing came with it too. I think it's to put your brush on like this. Yeah, I don't have one of those, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if I like use it very often, but it's cute. Oh yeah, one more thing. Let's just... I don't need this. Yeah, there was an already made swatch card on the side, but I really hate when it's like this, you know? That's just so confusing. Like, because if it's, oh, here we go. If it's this way and I have it like in there, I can just tell what color is what, like super easy. But with this, I have to like do math in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, so where would this one be? I'm like, I'm gonna have to like count. This is way better. This is way better. Way less time trying to just look at the swatch card. Okay, real quick, here's an idea for the color scheme. And I tried mixing a black too. So this is the greens mixed together. I think it's like this color and this one and that green. I want to use a dark green, and then I really want to use this color, that weird green. And I also mixed a red because there's not one, so I just used the fuchsia and the orange. I think it looks pretty good. And I was seeing if I like mixing purples. So there's the purple, and there's me mixing purples with the pinks. and that one just has more blue. And then here's the two blues compared to each other, because I was like, they look pretty similar, so I was just looking at the difference. They still look pretty similar, but you know, that's a pretty blue. But yeah, and then the blacks were like these two, mostly this one and the purple, and then I added some orange and some blue. So I think this one was without this blue, and this one was with more blue. So yeah, I think this one looks the best, but this one is literally just dark green. So the time I tried to mix black isn't as good, apparently. I actually ended up doing still most of the painting on day one. Maybe not most, but like half of it, which I feel like is pretty impressive. I did that whole thing, swatches, the sketch, everything. So I did a lot of drawing that day. Yeah, so this is ink. I'm just adding to the background. I don't know, to experiment. I've been wanting my artworks to look very pink, so that's what I did. And I didn't use any, I guess her blush is pink, but other than that, there was no pink. But yeah, and now we have the ugly stage in a painting where it lasts most of the time. So to help with that, just add a lot of layers and work on the face. And hopefully, you know, it'll be done a lot faster. And that skirt, I'm gonna tell you about that skirt. I cannot with that skirt. I had to look up a reference for that skirt, and I decided to make it be like a flower. So, yeah. Oh, and those little red things are supposed to be berries, by the way.
Isn't it amazing?
It looks like a little snow globe. It's so cool. I hope it sticks to the ground, and then when we come home, it's like all snowy.
That would be so nice.
It snowed today, and it was awesome. It was really cool. Sadly, I only threw 2 snowballs. But yeah, I wish I got to like play in the snow more, but it was really cool. And I have a little fun video at the end of this video. Yeah, so I kind of mentioned it very briefly, but the little circles are supposed to be kind of like representations of berries, because that was one of the things I got. And then bugs, so ladybugs. I don't think I've ever drawn ladybugs before, so I just looked up some reference photos, and then I just like didn't look at them while I was drawing. Not that it matters, but yeah, actually no, I think I looked at reference photos when I was doing the design, but they were surprisingly easy to draw. Not like I drew them like hyper realistic or anything, but yeah, I don't know. I was worried I was going to struggle, but I definitely struggled more on her than the ladybugs, like a lot more on her. Yeah, also, fun fact, so I drew the ladybugs bigger just, you know, to be easier for me. But another one of the things on the card was little, so she's just small, and that's why the ladybugs are so big. Yeah. But yeah, I had a really fun time in this color scheme, too. I got to use a lot of green, and I did use that pretty orange color. So yeah, and I feel like her skirt, actually no, I like the finished one. At this point, I didn't like it, but I like the finished one. And that hair, I spent so long. I think it was like 5 minutes just doing this layer. Just this layer where I'm doing the tiny details on the hair. Maybe longer. It took a very, very long time. But I really like the way this picture turned out. And I almost forgot about the braids in her hair till like I didn't. Yeah, so that tape was not working at all, and you can see the border is super messed up, so I tried to fix it later. And here's me doing some line art with this pen that I specially mixed the colors. They're inks, and some of the inks I mixed in weren't waterproof, so that stinks because it was like multiple brands. So the ink isn't waterproof, but it could have been waterproof. So close. Although I think it would be easier for it to get clogged if the inks are waterproof, so maybe that's for the better. But yeah, so I just did some line art, which I actually really like. I think it looks better than if I did do black. And I think it fits the color scheme pretty nice. But yeah, I really like this picture. And I don't know what the animal is currently, but I will add it in at the end. We'll see if my picture looks like it. I doubt it, but if it's like inspired at all, if it has anything resembling it. I don't know yet. I'm gonna text my friend after I do the voiceover. Yeah, I think she's gonna want to tell me what we're calling so she can also see my reaction. But yeah, and so I used some metallic paints to add some highlights, which I think turned out really cool. And I really want to do this more with my work because I absolutely love it. So here's the finished painting, and that's gouache highlights, by the way. And I will tell you my reaction of the art supplies, my review, what I think about them in a second. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about what I think. What I think? Yes. What I think about what I used. Okay. So, metallic watercolors. I love. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. This, I'm sure no one cares about my paint palette review, but like, this is a weird paint palette. The texture is like super duper strange. And so is the shape. Like, how much paint do you think I'm gonna put in here? Like this is huge. Look, like I could put so much paint in there. This could be like a water jar. And then these. Okay. I love these. I love them. And I love all the colors that came in here. I think I might just like move these over and then put a white and a black in here though. Because for her braids, I wanted like a pastel blue, but that was hard to do, especially with tiny details when I didn't have a white, because I just used water to lighten the color. And when it's watery, it's really hard to do tiny details. So I'm probably going to add a black and a white. I mean, I actually didn't really need a black. I mean, I do like having a black because mixing it every single time is just kind of a pain. I feel like I use a lot of black. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I like these. I like the case. They're very cute. I love little tiny cases. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and the next clip at the end is very funny. So I hope you enjoyed that too. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, and thanks for watching. Bye. I just learned what she's supposed to be. All right, try to take a guess, okay? She's a chipmunk. This is a chipmunk. Does she look like a chipmunk? No. I mean, you know, maybe she has the vibe, you know? It's the vibe. It's the chipmunk vibe. She's supposed to be a chipmunk.
Okay.
Should I do the rock wall or go this way?
Rock. I think that's more dangerous, so do it. The wild Kathleen tries to climb the rock wall.
This is so wet.
Yo, maybe you shouldn't.
If I fall, I'm suing Iris.
Don't sue me. That would be mean.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
The fall because of you.
Yeah. Oh, look at the geese over there. They're beautiful. Okay. Wild Kathleen climbs.
Oh, I think my gloves are so wet.
I know, literally mine are soaked through. When I took them off, they were like wet. Ooh. Okay, have fun.
Just making sure.
Okay. Oh.
Oh boy.
The one you went on earlier sounds really scary.
You want to go on that one?
Yeah, I have to go on all the slides.